Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast and happy October.
Yes.
Yes. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is Nick, Robert, and the ghost of Joe.
I just love that. That is awesome.
That's epic.
And as you can see, too, I mean, I'm also kind of struggling with Halloween lights right now, so don't mind me.
Yep. Hey, Nick, check this out.
What?
Here.
Oh, those lights. Yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah, jack-o'-lantern lights.
That's awesome. I got some jack-o'-lantern lights across the basement, but I'd rather wait till everything's up to show you guys.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, here. First of all, let's see. Hey, Thomas, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Sandy. Yep, it's good. Yep, good to have you back in the audience, man. So tonight's we're covering something that I have cherished since my preteen years. This is a movie that I saw every Halloween season on AMC since I was just 10 years old. Yeah, 10 years old when I first saw the 1985 vampire flick Fright Night. And this movie had a lot going for it. It was the director's debut for Tom Holland, not the Spider-Man Tom Holland. No, I'm talking about filmmaker Tom Holland, who also directed Child's Play. We covered that one earlier. And both films have starred Chris Sarandon.
Which, if you don't mind me just throwing this out, Don, real quick, because obviously, Chris Sarandon being a well-known actor, not just for these movies, but also, of course, years later, did the voice of Jack Skellington. I also just want to throw out, for those of you guys who don't know, for us, not just for us as big Nightmare Before Christmas fans, but also for anyone else who is. I don't know if you guys got word. Ken Page, the voice actor for Oogie Boogie, just passed away last night.
I just heard about that. Yes,
yeah.
I just heard. God rest his soul.
It sounds like to me, from what I heard, it was natural causes. He died in his sleep. He was only 70 years old. He wasn't even that old. So
yeah,
as I wrote this earlier today, but there definitely won't be another Oogie Boogie man like he was. And I guess it truly was the last time we were going to hear the Boogie song. So I just wanted to throw that out real quick. Rest in peace, Ken.
Yes, rest in peace indeed. Yes.
Yeah, they're dropping like flies in Hollywood.
They are. Oh my God.
Chris Christopherson.
Yep, that's
what was his name? The father from Good Times, John Amos.
Yep.
Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop.
That's
right.
Yeah.
The guy from Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
That's right.
That's really sad.
Right in center.
Yeah. Here, let's see. Santi. Oh, here. Santi's saying, yes, Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington is amazing. Yes.
Yes,
Hey, this just proves that Chris Sarandon is a phenomenal actor. He can play all kinds of different characters. I mean, in Fright Night, he's an intimidating vampire. And in Nightmare Before Christmas, he plays a beloved Disney character. And a role.
Child's Play, he plays detective.
Yeah, Detective Norris. Yeah, and that movie was also, like I said, it was also directed by Tom Holland. But
sorry, one more. We forgot one more. Another movie that Chris Sarandon's been in, Princess Bride.
That's another one. Yes. Oh man, yeah, Jack Skellington. I just love how he reprised Jack Skellington in the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Those are, oh God, I love Kingdom Hearts.
He also reprised the role too, and I know I said this on the Nightmare Before Christmas episode, but he also reprised his role as Jack in the sequel video game Oogie's Revenge, which also had Ken Page in it, which along with two other actors were the only voice actors from the movie to kind of reprise their roles. And ironically, one of the others was Paul Rubens, who voiced Locke, and now he's gone too.
Yep.
Oh wait, hey. Pickle Tom.
I'm not there. Allergies are.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Oh man.
Get well soon, Tom.
Oh man, take a Claritin for those allergies. It works for me.
Maybe stop going up those hills.
Yeah, it is probably. I mean, it is fall, so I know some people have fall allergies.
Yeah, that's true. That's unfortunate. Let's see. What was I going to say?
Guys, I'll be back in a second.
Where are you going, Nick? Don't leave us.
No, I'm still here. I'm just right next. I'm just hanging these lights up real quick. I'm still here though. Don't worry about me.
Okay. All right. So yeah, like I said, 10 years old when I first saw Fright Night, and but to be fair, it was on AMC, so they did censor it. So
of course.
Yeah, now it's available on HBO Max. So Yeah, this was released in 1985, so a little bit before my time. And let's see, it had a sequel, I believe. I had a hard time.
I
I've had,
believe in 1988.
yeah, that's true, 1988. Yeah, I wasn't able to get a hold of that sequel. I'm trying to figure out where I could watch it. But there's a remake, which I remember that came out when I was in college in 2011. And now that I have
Don
Peacock,
Johnson.
yeah, and now that I have Peacock, I can finally see it. Have you
And
guys?
Chris Sarandon is also credited for the remake.
I believe so. Yes. Let's see. Let's see who played. Wait, let's see who played him in the remake. It was Colin Farrell, I believe his name was. Yeah, it was Colin Farrell. Yeah, I remember, and I like him now in the Penguin series. Yeah, that show's incredible. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. Hey, Billy, how's it going? Yeah, so, and strangely, I know this is going to surprise a lot of people. I have not had a chance to see the Fright Night remake from 2011, but that changes now because I just found out it's on Peacock, and now I've got Peacock. So I'm finally going to see that remake because people said it's not half bad. And considering that Anton Yelchin's in it, I mean, hey, anything, I'm willing to see it, anything to honor an actor who has gone way too soon.
Wasn't there also another famous actor? I can't remember who it was. I thought in the remake too there was somebody who also has starred in Doctor Who. Who was that?
Let's see. I know that Chris Mintz-Plasse was in it. I remember him from Kick-Ass.
I have to look up who that was because I remember I haven't really seen it myself either, but I know that somebody had mentioned that one of the actors in the remake has starred in Doctor Who. I just don't know exactly who it is.
Let's see. Oh, I remember Dave Franco. I think Dave Franco was in it.
I think that's what. Yeah, I think it was. I think that might be.
It wasn't James Franco. It was Dave Franco. Totally. Let's see.
Hey,
Tony Collette from
David Tennant. That's
yes.
who it was. David Tennant, okay. Who was in Doctor Who.
Let's see. Tony Collette. I remember her from The Sixth Sense and also Hereditary. She's a great actress when it comes to horror. Can you say, well, yeah, welcome to Fright Night.
Nice.
See
you Dominick's pulling off the Freddy
he's got the
Krueger
shirt.
look. Yep. Although I've already been kind of doing that for the last couple of weeks already. I've been wearing different Halloween shirts.
Yep. Oh, here. Yes, Billy, that is true. There is a sequel to the original. I just stated that earlier. Released 3 years after this movie, around the same. I believe it was the same year as Child's Play. Where I believe in the sequel, it's like the sister of the vampire in the first film. Jerry Dandrige's sister, who is also a vampire and wants revenge for his death.
Yep.
And I like how both movies have Roddy McDowall, who, I loved him in the Planet of the Apes movies. That's one of the biggest roles that he's known for.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what type of movie, you can't beat a Roddy McDowall film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that man was incredibly talented. He's been in, he's done, he has a lengthy resume, I think he's done well over 200 works that span from cinema to theater. Oh, yeah, even voice acting. I believe the last role that he had done as far as voice acting before his death was A Bug's Life.
That's right, yeah, because his career went well over 50 years. Because I know long before he ever did it, like you just said, Planet of the Apes, for example, I think he had been doing acting, I think, at least since the late 1940s.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They did say
he's been acting since, it looks like the first thing listed here was 1938.
Okay, Ooh. So I was a little bit off. 1938 then, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I believe he took a break from acting to serve the military, I think.
He served during I think he served during World War II.
Was the principal in Cutting Class. Oh, that's right. And I believe I thought I saw his name from a lesser known horror film from I think it was 1990 called Shakma. I don't know if you heard of this one, Nick.
Yeah, I heard of that one.
I haven't heard of that one before.
That was that was a great kind of movie.
Yeah, it was a pretty silly movie. I mean, Roddy McDowall plays a mad scientist.
Was that a baboon?
Yeah, but the whole premise of it is Roddy McDowall plays a scientist who studies aggression in animals and was experimenting with a baboon who goes on a homicidal rampage in a building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but as far as Fright Night, I believe this is definitely one of Roddy McDowall's best performances.
I just looked up, by the way, about it just because you know me with history. I just looked up his military career. You were right. Yeah, he served in the United States Army twice, in fact. From one time from it was actually after World War II, from 1946 to 1954, and then a few years later he came back and he served from 1960 to 1962. But either way, the wars that he was involved with, even though it was over by then, he was still considered a World War II. He basically served both World War II and Korea, so he was a veteran from both wars.
Okay, I gotcha. I think I looked that up somewhere. Here,
Yeah.
let's see. Would you cover cutting class? Maybe I'll have to track that one down because I hear that's a horror. I hear it's a horror comedy, so it may qualify for this.
I never heard of that one before.
Yeah, it's an early Brad Pitt movie. It was during his it was during his youth. And let's see. And as for Fright Night, this said some pretty crazy. Like one of the most memorable characters was like Evil Ed. Remember that guy, Nick?
Yes, I do.
I was trying to put my finger on where I saw that guy before.
Oh yes, Evil Ed.
And it came to me because I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Because he was so memorable as a character that he was also in what was it? Damn it, I have to look it up again.
Well, while he's looking that up, he was
Fraternity Vacation, which was also in 1985.
Yes, and yeah, let's see, what was his name? Stephen Joffreys. That's his name.
Which he was also known for something else, which of course I'm not going to go into very much detail, but he was also, I guess you can kind of say he became a gay porn actor too later in life. Which I'm not going to say much about that. But
he's got a lot of videos credited to him for that too.
Yeah, he was involved in that genre after Fright Night. I know that for a fact.
Yep, Married with Children. That's right. She was. Yeah, I believe.
Amanda Pierce.
Amanda Pierce. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, there were several people like in this movie who were who were homosexual. I believe. Yeah, like Stephen Joffreys. I believe he was. I believe the actress you just mentioned. Yeah, I think she was.
They were probably one of the first to kind of not necessarily, but almost like a diverse with, kind of in a way having homosexual characters involved. So that was probably one of the big first ones at that time.
Yeah, I believe there was a few moments. A lot of people will say there was like a few moments in this movie where there's like a homoerotic kind of themes to it, like how Dandrige seduces Ed into becoming a vampire. That's
well, and there's also, again, I'm not going to go into details. Even the let's just say that there's that scene when Jerry is with his bodyguard, I guess.
Billy.
Billy. And there's kind of a moment where he goes, like he leans down, but that's all I'm going to say. But that's kind of considered another possible homosexual moment in that movie.
Yeah. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time we had a homoerotic horror film. Like, remember Nightmare on Elm Street 2?
Yep, that too.
That was released around the same time as this. And let's see. Yeah, like for years I was wondering what Billy's character was supposed to be. Like, he technically wasn't a vampire and yet he wasn't human. So he was like some kind of an undead entity, I guess. Yeah, like
maybe some kind of revenant, maybe.
No, not you, Billy. A different Billy. His name was Billy Cole.
Billy Cole. Yeah.
Yes. No, not you. We weren't talking about you, Billy. No. Yeah, we yeah, like I still remember that scene where they were shooting Billy, and he was like multiple times that did nothing but stab him with a stake, and he started bleeding Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, when he fell down the stairs and all he had is the skull, I remember somebody had said, "Geez, I'm surprised they didn't take that back home with them and have as a souvenir." I would have.
Oh my god. Yeah. I wouldn't even want to touch any one of those bones. Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, but I think Billy was supposed to be some kind of revenant of some sort, or
might be. I thought he was like something like he was definitely a bodyguard, but he was also at the same time kind of like a familiar. I thought.
Yeah, familiar too. Idea.
Yeah.
If the vampire they had in this, he had all kinds of powers to seduce people and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would just, if he's like the living dead or whatever the vampire way they do it, he was controlling. I think Billy, his little sidekick there, was actually like dead, and he was just controlling him like a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one theory I had back then.
You know, another thing too about oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. It was actually something that was working. It'll come back to me. I hate
Right. And yeah, like I like how
You all right,
you're
Joe?
right, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you're okay. All right. But yeah, I like how the whole first act of this felt like a Rear Window with a vampire twist.
That's true. It does have kind of like a Rear Window feel to it.
Yeah, where Charlie is spying on next door, believing that Jerry Dandrige was a vampire, and which he turned out to be right about. And yeah, I like how it has that trope where, like a vampire won't come to your house unless invited. And
Yeah, that's right. It still
Yeah.
follows the tradition of vampires.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's one of those ones that keeps, pretty much across the board when they make those movies.
yeah, that's right. I mean, there are many vampire pop culture that trope has been used many times, like in Salem's Lot, Lost Boys, True Blood. Yeah, so it's pretty nice to see that here, and also it's like I like how Jerry Dandrige can even when intimidating Charlie, he still like was trying to kind of like he was still like passing himself off in front of other people as like a decent guy, even though he was hinting that he was onto Charlie and he was gonna come after him real soon because because when he was inside of Charlie's house, invited by Charlie's mother, he did hint at that very subtly.
Yeah. I can come
You
back
know what,
anytime I
Roger?
want. I'll come
Okay,
back
so
quite often.
real quick, now it just came back to me. Now I remember what I was going to say. You know another
Wait,
thing.
wait. What is this?
What?
Nick,
Yeah, no, yeah. But anyways, one other thing I was going to point out, and this is something else that you don't really see very often in a lot of vampire movies. Like when you have a vampire in this case that's like on the loose, usually their intention, I mean, yes, is to feed on blood, but sometimes make minions out of, like minions out of some of these victims. What I find interesting in this case with Jerry is that when he goes out and seduces his victims first and then eventually kills them, I find it interesting that when these murders are later turned up, the heads are always decapitated or they're mutilated in some form. It was obvious that unlike most vampires, Jerry kills them like completely and like cuts the head off or something to prevent those victims from becoming additional vampires. So that's not
right.
very common. You see, usually a vampire is trying to, you see in most they're trying to create some kind of new society to kind of take over the world. But in this rare case, he cuts the heads off the victims so they can be prevented from becoming vampires. Unlike in the case with Evil Ed, of course.
And Amy. He didn't kill Amy either.
No, he didn't kill Amy. And yes, and Amy too, because he thought she was reincarnated. So with the exception of those two people, everybody else he cut the heads off of.
Yeah, that's right. And yep, Joe is a ghost. That's right.
That kind of takes, with Amy, that whole thing of seeing like somebody from his past, say 300 years ago or whatever, that kind of supports the multiple, reborn in a different life, reincarnation.
That's right.
Like Amy, he's got all these paintings, that look a lot like Amy, but they're not.
Yeah, because it's stated that he when like Amy just reminded him of a former lover that he had.
Right.
Yep. Don, I responded back, by the way. You messaged me right as I responded back.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know. Sorry, guys. There was an issue I had to send out in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've had just a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, and not only that. Okay, now I can also see what you were talking. I was actually talking about something else, Don. But Now I can understand what you're talking about. Good. I'm glad you got rid of it. Hopefully. You good, Don?
There. So, yeah, sorry, I was checking something. Oh, hey Thomas. Yeah, you
Sorry,
didn't miss
guys. We
much.
just had some technical issues.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, but yeah, Fright Night's. Yeah, what do you think is the most terrifying scene of this movie?
Well, since everyone's quiet, I guess I'll go first. I think I'll have to go with, as crazy as it's going to sound, I wasn't really freaked out by Jerry's transformation to a vampire as I would have thought. But for whatever reason, Amy's appear, when she got turned into a vampire, she had that huge jaw full of fangs that just like went off to inhuman proportions. That was creepy. And there's another reason for it. That image at one point, when you see her when she's in her full vampire mode, that image actually kind of became quite popular in the early 2000s, which was used a few times alongside the Exorcist picture for scary pop-up games. And that's actually how I kind of discovered Fright Night in a way, because of the scary pop-up games. So, yeah, I have to say Amy's transformation, I think, was more frightening.
Right, really. Oh, man. Let's see. Like, I didn't really have that many scenes that really frightened me as a kid because there really weren't any scary movies that terrified me as a kid because I never had nightmares or like anything. Like I've seen things that grown adults had nightmares about.
And this movie's also supposed to be funny. That's the craziest thing about this movie is that it is creepy, but at times it's also supposed to be very funny.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, we got to show this real quick, what Tony just said.
Hey, Tony.
Got to thank Tom's World for introducing me to this ring of horror fans. Such interesting perspective on film I have never seen and some that I love. Well, Tony, we're glad to have you. And even though Tom's not here with us because he's not feeling so good, you can thank him later.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, hang on. I'm just double checking something.
Is everything okay with the account, Don?
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Yeah, this movie didn't scare me, didn't have one of those frightening moments for me. But then I grew up on like that, like watching these movies in a time when, most parents wouldn't allow kids to watch movies like this.
Right.
So I grew up on watching them young. So nothing has really kind of gotten me at all, really spooked me. It's the jump scares that get me because you're not expecting it, and then all of a sudden, you jump because you weren't expecting something to happen, and the guy comes out or something. Those jump scares are the only thing that get me. I fall for them every time they happen. No matter how many times I watch those movies, I know it's coming, but they still get me.
Oh man.
You got someone in my, you got Ed here, Joe, liking your conversion.
Yep. Daywalkers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, vampires that show up in broad daylight. It's like at first you would think that's the case with Billy Cole in Fright Night, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was just like some but yeah, he's really just some undead entity. It's like the movie doesn't really say. I guess it's like supposed to be open to interpretation as to what he really is.
Well, and this is what I said previously when we talked about Abigail, like what Braxton just said about like the different vampires that have all been out in the daylight and stuff. You also have to remember it's kind of based on the different cultures of vampires, because not all vampire cultures and stories and legends around the world follow the same tradition. So in like some other countries, unlike here that we're all familiar with, where vampires can only be out at night, and if they are out in the sun, they die. Well, in another country, you may have vampires where it's completely the opposite. Or maybe not necessarily the opposite, but those that can actually be out during the day and night too. So the sun, in other words, the sun sometimes has little to no effect on them. Although in some other legends too, even if they aren't necessarily harmed by the sun, they still prefer to hunt at night because obviously that are time for easy prey, but also in some stories too that the sun still would have some effect on them. Not necessarily may kill them, but it may weaken their energy. So that's probably another reason why.
Yeah. Limit their abilities.
But what's that?
It would limit their abilities.
Yeah, it would limit their abilities. That's correct.
And I found the picture that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, wait, let's zoom in on that. Oh yes, I know that picture all too
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah. Yep. Amy is with that mouthful of fangs. Oh man.
Almost like shark. They're almost more like shark teeth.
Almost.
Yeah, kind of. It kind of does remind you of that. Here. 1985. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, Marcy Darcy wasn't recognizable in that picture for sure.
No, definitely not. No chicken feet in that one.
Yeah, sorry, my internet sucks right now. Hang on.
Yeah,
That's all right.
internet seems to be kind of going a little lacking.
Yeah, see her.
I love that. I love that. That was the cover for the VHS copy.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not VHS copy and
Of course, we got VHS copy.
yeah. And the DVD copy.
Well, the only reason I say
the
that
DVD
is
copy.
because, you know, I was like in my 20s in 85. Well, not quite 20 yet, but
That's
you
12.
know, I was pretty close. I graduated, and at that time, video stores had, you know, VHS in them, and I worked in them. And I remember Fright Night coming out, and I'm like, that is a cool box cover, because it kind of actually, the one we got kind of had it so that you could, you know, it was like 3D almost. So you could feel the spirit thing that's over the house. You could, you know, it kind of came up off the box.
Right.
Right. I see where you're going.
It was a really cool way they did that.
Yeah. I remember those ones. And also, when you think about Roddy McDowell's character, Nick, Peter Vincent, I'm wondering if that's like that name is like an homage to is an homage to two of the big horror actors in classic in classic horror. Like the Peter comes from Peter Cushing and Vincent from Vincent Price.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah,
that's what I think too.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
I often wonder if they. Well, no, I doubt they would. No, I was just going to say. I
but
wonder if
Roddy McDowell, doesn't he come from also like a famous family? Doesn't he have like a famous brother or somebody?
I think he does.
Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm. Oh, Malcolm McDowell. Here, let me.
Malcolm McDowell.
Here, Malcolm McDowell. Right. Yeah, he's a British actor too.
Now that guy comes from, if I'm not mistaken, Malcolm was in Clockwork Orange and a movie called Cat People.
That's correct.
And nope, they have no relation.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
I just looked.
I know, it's crazy.
I would have thought they would have. I mean, they look kind of like a little bit alike.
Yeah. Well, there's some similarities to it, but McDowell, I guess, is a common name in England.
Yeah. Wow. We're actually just brought up also.
Far more common there than the name Elmy is in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know how. Yeah. You know because.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying, you know how there are lots of common names like Johnson, like there could be a name like Bill Johnson, like a bunch of people have that name, but yeah. Well, I can guarantee you in this country, I'm pretty sure there's only one Don Elmy.
Yeah,
probably.
Real quick, what Braxton said. Yeah, this goes back to what I was just talking about, the different cultures, and this is one of those I brought up again when we talked about Abigail. Talk about the Chinese, the Gangxi from Chinese culture. Yeah, which is a different tradition over there in China.
Mm-hmm.
Tony just said, people call me out as a vampire because I a blacked out car and have tooth implants from a skateboarding accident that, let's just say, just didn't settle correctly with the rest of my adult teeth. Yee, jeez, that didn't sound good.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Wow. Man.
And we can't forget the Lost Boys, the way that they all get destroyed too. They go out different ways.
If I
But
could
they-
actually say, it's funny you brought that up, Robert, because I don't know if I ever, Don, obviously, I know it's been many years since I brought up about this film, but, if you guys didn't know, I actually did make a documentary horror film a number of years ago that was called 25 Scariest Movie Moments. And it's actually a fan-made sequel to like a couple of real-life countdown documentaries that have been made over the years, which hopefully one of these days I'd like to try to schedule a watch party for you guys to check it out because it's a lot of fun. And so because my film is a fan-made sequel to it, it's a list of movies that didn't quite make it to these other lists in over the years. So you're not going to see like, 30 Days of Night. That's another one. Yeah, you're not going to see. In fact, 30 Days of Night is actually on that list of mine. So, but also Fright Night is as well. Now, originally when I was putting this together, Lost Boys was also on that list. Unfortunately, I had to make a sacrifice between the two films, Fright Night and Lost Boys, because yes, I had 30 Days of Night, but they were far apart and they were from different eras, and they were also pretty much kind of two completely different vampire films. I had to make the sacrifice to lose Lost Boys because I thought FearFans and Lost Boys were just two similar movies.
That one freaked me out. I gotta say, out of all the vampire movies I've seen, Lost Boys freaked me out.
Oh yeah,
because of the one scene where he's eating the Chinese noodles, and next thing you know, they look like worms, or he's eating and it's the maggots. Anything like that. Poltergeist when with the chicken in the Poltergeist movie. Same thing. Those scenes like that freak me out.
Oh yeah.
You're eating maggots, Michael. How do they taste?
Oh. I to this day I won't eat rice.
I don't eat. Hey, you're not alone, Joe. I don't eat rice either.
Because it looks like maggots.
Oh Jesus. And
and funny, if I could just throw this out too. Funny enough, I know it sounds unrelated, but it's going to go right back to what we're just talking about. I actually saw. Well, he didn't have a huge role in it, but I actually saw this. You guys remember the singer from that movie, from Lost Boys, in the early part of the movie? His name was Tim Capello. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
The one on the saxophone?
Yeah. So this is going to sound crazy, but he was actually at the Michigan Paracon that I was at. I don't know. To this day, I still don't know why they brought him on. He wasn't involved. He has never been involved in the paranormal field whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to sound disrespectful, but he was actually one of the few guys I didn't want to get a picture with because that's like even after all these years since he did Lost Boys, he had a lecture, but it wasn't even about the paranormal. He was just going up to just perform his music on stage, which he was all greased up again, just like in Lost Boys. Yep, that's the guy. That's who I saw, and he's in his 70s now.
God!
After his performance, I did not even because even after when he was like back at his vendor table, he was still covered in oil.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was like,
guy his age, I mean, God, he's got to be up there.
I'm surprised, like, despite his age, he still had that muscular look, and I look at him, and I think to myself, you know what? He looked like he could have been someone who could have had more of a career in wrestling. Honestly,
he did look like a wrestler type.
Yeah, he did have a wrestler or persona about him. So yeah, but he was the lecture I intentionally did not want to go to. I just didn't find it comfortable. I just hope because it's usually a family event that no kids were there. I hope not.
All right, hey Nick. Yeah, and hey Nick, you remember? Let's see. There was that car that Charlie drove. It was like a late '60s Ford Mustang. You remember seeing that? It had like it had like blotches that were not right on it. So it was kind of a worn Mustang.
It was like it was like Bondo.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like
that's what it would have been. It would have been Bondo just sanded down, not painted over yet.
Yeah, it looked like Yeah, it looked like it probably could have been a '68 Ford Mustang. Yeah,
It
my
was.
my
He was
dad.
like 1968
yeah, like-
or 69.
My dad had one of those when he was in high school.
Those were-
Yeah, that's right. My dad was a high school jock who cruised around in his Ford Mustang.
my dad didn't get his first car until the late 70s
Wow.
after he graduated high school.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a car in high school either.
No, I mean, two of us. I didn't have one
My
either.
first car, and no, I didn't come from a very rich family. Okay, so don't my first car was given to me because my dad, every time he bought a new car to him, not new from the dealership, every couple of years or so. And this is when you could find $150 cars in the bargain corner that'll run forever.
Mm-hmm.
My first car was a 1973 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. And you got me with long hair in my late teens, early 20s, driving around in this yellow Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody thought I was rich. But no, I got it given to me. My dad probably picked it up for, little to nothing.
What's kind of funny, you talk about these different, like all these cars and stuff like that. My dad also said, I forgot to mention, when he got his first car, that was like back in 1977, 78. And he turned on the radio and it was, what was it? Oh, he turned on the radio and the first song that played in his car, he always tells me this every time about when he got his first car. It was Daryl Hall and John Oates' Rich Girl. No, I'm sorry. Not Rich Girl, Maneater. That's what it was. Everything all right, John?
Oh yeah. I was just I was double checking something on here.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, here,
Jill.
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 Hi.
Hi, Jill.
Yeah, good to have you on.
Can you hear me? Or
Yes.
no?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
loud and clear.
Okay, because I tried to use my headphones last time and it didn't seem to work. So I'm like, I hope it works this time. Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Good to see you. And so, yeah, tonight covering Fright Nights. So it's a childhood favorite of mine. Yeah, I saw this when I was 10. And yeah, so we were talking about how Charlie drives a late 60s Ford Mustang, the same car my dad had when he was a teenager in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just sad to when I heard that, like right after that confrontation that Dandrige had with Charlie and Jay, like over at Charlie's room. And when after stabbing Dandrige in the hand with that pencil, he retreated and then destroyed Charlie's Mustang off screen, told Charlie about it over the phone. And I'm just thinking, okay, if he said that to me, I'd just be like, oh, okay, it's on now, because it's bad enough you come to my home and come inside my home, but now you really quit. It's like now you've done it because you never mess. I don't care if you're a vampire or not. Never
You don't mess with a man's car.
never mess with a man.
True.
Yeah, never mess with a man's car, especially a Ford Mustang, a classic.
Well,
You seen Supernatural?
Yes.
His baby?
Yes,
baby,
I would feel
Chevelle, 67 Chevelle.
I would feel the same way about a Ford Mustang, especially a classic one like that.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I just sent Nick, or
Yeah, I was about to say, what is this that you
yeah,
sent me?
I was going to tell you if you could share it. It just shows you how much of a fan I've been.
Yeah, give
for-
me once. Give me a second.
Yeah,
here.
when you get a chance.
I don't like the Fords, but I'd take baby any day.
Same.
I'm not a big fan of Fords, even though my truck out in the driveway is a Ford. But that's a police interceptor Ford Explorer. There's a difference.
Ah,
I got that because of the paranormal field, and it was cheap.
gotcha.
I got it for a steal.
That's what I mess with a man's car or his tools. Yep.
Yeah, that's
right.
it too.
That's right.
Pisses
Never-
me off. Take my tools and don't put them back in the toolbox where they came from.
Yeah, never mess with that. Never mess with rims. Yeah, because I've seen people do. Oh my god, I've seen people do like things like put a nail underneath somebody's car, like underneath somebody's tire.
Yeah.
Oh,
That sucks.
like as like a revenge stunt. It's like, come on, that's like,
Yeah.
Caltrops.
yeah.
I
Depending,
had-
Matters worse.
it's like depending on what car it is. Like if it's a Tesla, I mean, those tires can be hundreds of dollars. So like and it's like if you're trying to do that as a prank, it's like it's like, dude, that's not a prank, that's a felony.
Well, not only that, I mean, on some more deadlier occasions, sometimes, of course, you have villains, criminals out there who put bombs or dynamites under cars.
It's not like the 70s, when cars were made and you had just one particular type of tire in all these different sizes, and you could go and get a brand new tire at Kmart or something for $35.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nowadays you're talking $300 plus for some of these tires.
Yep.
Just for one.
Yep.
That's right.
To replace the tire on my truck, it's going to cost $300.
True.
Plus.
Yeah, I don't know why some people put pranks on.
Because we found a nail in it. It kept going down and kept going low and stuff like this. So, then my stepson found a nail in it, and that's why it was leaking. We thought it was the stem. And now, to get a new tire, it's going to cost us $300. Thank God there was a spare back there. A donut spare. It was a real one, but still.
Oh.
I had an ex
Yes.
tell me.
Sorry, Jill. Just real quick, guys. Guess who just came on? Ed.
Hey, Ed.
What's up, Ed?
Hey,
How you doing, Ed?
Long time no see.
I actually made it on. I don't know how much use I'm going to be able to communicate with y'all with, because my phone is sounding like a complete computer and it's all digitalized. But I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. So
You sound pretty good from our end.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, Don, this, as you know, like I said, this is Ed. He runs the Rift Network. So we've had him previously as a guest on Supernatural Talk several months ago.
Awesome. Welcome, Ed.
I can call you for the man.
I think he's been a guest on my show once too. But
Yeah, that too. That's correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
yeah, I can't hear you guys.
Okay.
Yes. I was going to say we can hear you, but I didn't realize you can't hear us.
It's like a bunker in here. I'm literally like in a bunker. You would think a semi truck place wouldn't be this much, this thick, but these walls are like this thick, man, and I don't get any signal. Look, I appreciate it. I'm going to jump out of here because I can't hear you.
Okay. There's always another
Thanks,
time.
y'all.
There's always another time.
Oh, it's good to meet you, Ed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I should have said too. He was at work, but he was going to try to jump on for a few minutes. But I guess it's just too much. I mean, because it looks like he works at a warehouse.
Ah, I see.
What are you doing with those lights there, Nick?
I'm untangling them. They're brand new.
Very careful with those lights.
If they're brand new, why are they tangled?
The weird thing is like I was trying. They were like kind of coiled up at first.
Yeah.
And as I was trying to, I didn't want to pull it because I don't want to break them. They got tangled. The good part is I'm almost done. So I'm actually just at the center part of this now. And once I get this untangled, then I'm all set.
Yep.
I would just got a new one because I don't have that much patience.
Yeah, babyface. Yeah, Nick just loves playing with his lights.
Well, not playing with them.
He likes being a flasher.
Trying to organize them. What? What did I miss?
I said you like being a flasher.
Stranger Things.
That sounds like a joke, that said. Yeah, you did, Ed. You tried your best.
Oh yeah,
There's always next time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so yeah, Charlie, after he discovers that his suspicions were correct, that Dandrige is a vampire, he tries to go into everybody for help, including his girlfriend and his friend Evil Ed, who is like, Evil Ed is like definitely hands down the most eccentric character of this whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also of course his hero Peter Vincent, even though that's not even his real. Apparently, that's not even his real name. That's just a character he plays in movies. I mean, this is pretty much like going to him for help is pretty much the equivalent if I were to say. It's like, say I have a vampire living next to me. I mean, that's pretty much like the equivalent of me going to Anthony Hopkins for help just because he played Van Helsing in Dracula.
Or Buffy.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
Buffy.
Of course you would.
There's a
What's
Vampire
wrong with
Diaries.
Buffy? What's wrong with Buffy? Buffy's an awesome
I'm
show.
not,
She's
I'm not saying
awesome.
that as a bad thing. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that at all. You say it got so quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah.
At least in Vampire Diaries, they had rings that they had that let them go out in the sun.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was one little thing that they added.
Yeah. And like we were saying earlier, Jill, that this movie like definitely like uses that trope well about like a vampire is only coming into a home if they're invited. Yeah, like
Mhm.
yeah, they just use that trope. The same thing they used in like Salem's Lot and Lost Boys. And oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I can't wait to see. That reminds me, I can't wait to see the new Salem's Lot remake coming out on HBO Max this week.
Mm.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right. It's this week it comes out.
Yep.
So is that the fourth here or the fourth over there? Because I saw an advertisement for it here too.
I think it might be the third here. Oh wait,
Third.
wait, let me check.
Because Robert's a day ahead of us.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
already in the second.
That's right. Let's see. Oh, they already give it a 7 out of 10 stars on IMDb. Okay, so it's supposed to
Hasn't
be.
even had yet.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's got an early screening. You know, some people probably saw it ahead of time. Let's see. Salem's Lot 2024 release. Oh, here, release date. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I was right. October 3rd. Okay.
Right. Yeah, one of the people I know was saying that they thought it'd be for a Halloween sort of thing, but at least it's in October.
Right. Okay.
Right.
October
no.
3rd. That's
Yep.
my dad's birthday.
And I got
Oh.
Max, so I can watch it.
Oh, nice. Oh man, I mean, we're gonna be busy with the Fear Fans podcast because I know that I already know what we're covering next week. It's gonna be VHS.
Oh, VHS.
I can't remember if I saw that, but
I-
That's
I'll
from
pay-
2000. That was from
You know the one
2012.
I wish you would do just once. It's an old. It's considered a cult classic today. Videodrome.
Videodrome. Yeah, David.
One day.
Oh man, if only Tom was there. It's also directed by David Cronenberg.
Not the Cronenberg.
Right.
Yeah, with James.
I'm not sure if you can find it to watch anywhere.
I've seen Videodrome.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, just for clarity, I'm not referring to like watching it on VHS tapes. I'm referring to this.
The movie.
The movie, yeah.
yeah, we have to find the VHS player.
Oh God, I haven't used a VHS player since.
Yeah, but for that movie,
Grade school.
Videodrome.
Yeah.
Oh
God,
yes.
I haven't used even used VHS tapes since like I was in like junior high.
Guys, right here. I get these.
Whoa.
Well, not all of them, but right here, a good majority of them are VHS tapes. But they're not horror movies, though. They're my weather documentaries,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them, the ones I have, most of them were made back in the late 80s, and 90s, and they never were remastered or like brought back. So like, there's no 25th or 30th anniversary editions. So like, hey, what's up, Jerry?
Hey, Jeremy.
There's like you can only get them on VHS.
Videodrome's on Peacock for 29 more days.
I remember first seeing Videodrome back in high school.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. Or VHS.
Yeah, it came out in 1983.
33, and it stars James Wood.
Yeah, James Woods in it. Yeah.
Yeah. That movie was probably the only one, and I take this back earlier, that actually scared me to death.
I'm actually, I just realized,
I worked in a video store, and we rented VHS movies when that came out, after it came out. But I mean, it was in our store.
Right.
Yeah, it just shows you how the media controls you, and how us watching TV controls our perception of the world. And David Cronenberg knows how to do that very well.
Well, here's the thing. You after a certain point, I ended up owning the video store I was working for, right?
Yeah.
So in order to make that work, I had to be there from open to close 7 days a week because I couldn't afford to hire help. So here I am working, 12, 13, 14-hour days, 7 days a week. And those videos started doing that kind of breathing thing. I was started to hallucinate after a while. The only sleep I would get is sleeping on the pool table in the back room.
Oh,
Right.
When I'd close the door.
Right. Oh, here, there's something I wanted to bring up, like the Ed character, Nick. Like when they like one of the most memorable scenes of the whole movie is when Peter Vincent goes into Charlie's house after like kind of like retreating after like his plan to kill Jerry, and Jerry had failed because Jerry and Billy Cole like teamed up, and so retreated back to the Brewster house to try to call for help. Like try to call 911, but the phone line was cut, and evil Ed was like hiding out like this yarn hair from one of the dolls, I guess, and it was just trying to disguise himself as Billy as Charlie's mother, Mrs. Brewster.
Charlie's mom.
Yeah, Charlie's mom. Yeah, like in that bed, and said when he asked when Peter Vincent asked where's Charlie's mother, he's like, oh well, apparently she's working nights, but she left a note. His dinner's in the oven. And then he transforms into the wolf. That wolf scene was pretty freaky, I will admit.
Yeah, that was the scariest one for me.
And then impales the wolf, and it slowly, very, very slowly reverts back to human form. And I will say this: those were
creepy.
Yeah, I will say this: those were really good practical effects for its time.
Yeah, for its time, that was very good special effects.
Yep,
they must have had a halfway decent budget for that movie.
Oh, definitely.
And just because I'm partial to wolves, I didn't like that scene because I don't want watching a wolf die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, if I see a wolf out in the woods, I won't run.
I mean, because that's what the wolf wants.
I'll try to pet it or something because
petting it is probably not the best idea.
Yeah, but it's still a canine.
That is true.
It's still a canine, and the thing is, I'm not afraid of those dogs, and they can sense fear. I sat with a hybrid once because the Humane Society in Madison confiscated a hybrid from a drug house, and they were shipping it off to a wildlife preserve out in California. So it was going to stay there until then, and I got to sit in a cage with it.
Oh,
wow.
Well, clearly it was used to being around humans.
Right. It was pretty tame, but oh my God. You can see the size of my hand, if I turn that off, but its paw was bigger than the size of my hand. That dog weighed almost 300 pounds.
Jeez, so that must have been a massive animal.
It was
a beast. Yes. And hey, totally agree with you, babyface wolves. Are pretty good. We're pretty amazing animals.
Don,
have you seen The Gray?
The Gray? The one with Liam Neeson. Yeah, a little bit.
Don, I don't know if you knew this, but in all the years I've lived here, it doesn't happen very commonly, but every once in a while, sometimes, well, not a wolf, but we actually sometimes get a coyote or two that sometimes come into our neighborhood. Usually it's during the winter. Yeah, they usually, come in during the winter season. I still remember a few years ago, one morning I was getting ready to go to work, and as my mom was driving me, we drive down the road, and just literally 2-3 doors down, there's this coyote that's running along the sidewalk in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Around here, you'll see them. I lived in Madison for the longest time, and I'd drive it was 3 weeks or something. I was driving from Madison to McFarland every day because my dad was in Vegas. Mm-hmm. So I was checking on his house and checking on his dog. And every time I'd go down the 2 roads close to his house, there was always a bunch of coyote there in the cornfield or eating roadkill.
Bad.
Yeah, that's pretty common though.
They're very common here in Wisconsin, and the wolves are getting even more common too because they're moving south.
Yeah, we're getting them too. Actually, they're not only moving south, they're also coming too from southern Illinois as well. So they're kind of moving both north and south, and we're kind of in the middle of it. So we're probably going to see an
So
increase in
I
coyote
hear
wolf populations in the
I
next
hear
few
the wolves
years.
I hear the wolves at night once in a while
That's got to be cool.
Wow.
because
Yeah.
I'm out in the
Do
country.
you howl back?
Yeah.
Do you howl back?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would.
I'll go stand out on my porch if I'm awake and up.
right. Oh, Nick, I just don't remember this one scene. You remember the nightclub scene in Friday
Yep.
Night? Yeah.
That's
The
called,
Like,
yeah.
club.
Yeah, you remember that the bouncers were trying to trying to get rid of Dandrige?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they did a very similar scene to that in a Disney Channel original movie, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Well,
Mm.
That date with a vampire.
well, did you guys know? Because I watched that and I just looked it up. One of the guys that plays the bouncer, one of the guys that plays one of the bouncers,
Yeah.
was the same guy that played one of the bikers in Friday the 13th Part 3.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Warren scene? Yeah, think about it.
That's
The guy who got hacked up and then he found out he was later alive. He tried to fight Jason and then Jason finally finished the job. It's the same actor.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah,
don't know
I
his
thought he
name,
was
but I remember who he is.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think I see his name on here. Here, let me go look up Friday.
Friday 13th Part 3.
Part. Oh, now I'm getting hit with allergies.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank you. Now I'm getting hit with allergies. Jesus.
You can't
Let's
beat
see. Who
fall
played-
allergies,
let's see.
unfortunately.
Let's see. The character was Ali in Nick Savage.
Ollie, yeah.
Here, Nick Savage. That's his name. Let's see. He was in Friday Night. He played one of the bouncers. You're right.
So
Yeah, I
he's
don't
kind of
think-
had his share in the horror genre.
Yeah. So, but I don't think he's acting anymore.
No, I was going to say I think he's retired now.
Yeah.
But he had, I think his golden era was obviously back in the 80s. He was known. I don't know if he played any other horror films like during that time. I'm sure he did, but
Yeah.
I know that was
A White Wolf.
Friday the 13th Part 3 were two
Wow.
of those.
Wow, that's a rare sight.
Where are you, Braxton?
He lives in Louisiana.
Yes.
Wow, that's rare.
Who retired? Main guy? Oh no, we were talking about a side character in Fright Night. He was one of the bouncers. Nick Savage. He plus played Ali in Friday the 13th Part 3. He was the leader of the biker gang.
For real quick, good night, Chris. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night, Chris.
Got nothing too scary to talk about, but funny stuff tonight. Of course you do. You know what? I actually got to go back to something. I thought he mentioned something about me. Oh yeah, here it is. Let me say here. At the top of the
I saw
Halloween,
that.
Nick would dress up as a cordon de cop this year. He would just be irresistible to avoid while trick-or-treating.
So, yeah, Jill, we were discussing earlier about that character, Billy
right
Cole,
back.
who was like the bouncer, or sorry, not bouncer, bodyguard for Dandrige, and yeah, he was like kind of like his familiar, but we find out he's neither human nor vampire, but some sort of undead creature that when you stab him, he bleeds Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, I thought he was a zombie or something.
Yes, some sort of undead creature anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Robert's gone and Nick is gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that
Uh-oh.
Nickelodeon slime got famous. That was from one called when did I always see that on Nickelodeon? What was that show? You can't do that on television.
Right. Oh, Billy, yes. Chris Sarandon, yeah, he's still acting. Yeah, he's in fact, I just love how he reprised his role as Jack
Mhm.
Skellington in the
He's-
Kingdom Hearts games.
He's got quite the resume there.
Oh, he does. He does. And I like how in this movie he's like plays the villain and gets top billing, kind of just like how Jack Nicholson when he was in The Shining and Batman.
Oh my God, The Shining! I
Oh,
just saw that it was on TV, so I had to watch it.
What about The
Mhm.
Shining?
It was.
Oh yeah.
It was
We were
on.
Nick, we were just talking about how Chris Sarandon playing the main villain in this, he got top billing for this movie, just like Jack Nicholson when he was in The Shining and Batman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Some of those some of those TV cable channels have got things going on like FearFest. It
Yep.
happens all month long, and then they got
Waiting right now.
then you got like Halloween Fest, and they're playing all the Halloween movies and all the scary movies and the cult classics.
Oh yeah.
I love this time of year.
They always do. Oh, here, Billy's asking about the actor that played Charlie. Is he still acting? Let me take a look and see. I'm not sure if he is. I haven't really seen him in much lately.
Well, you're looking that up. I got to ask Santi. So what were you saying about corn on the cob?
Oh, here we go.
Guys, see what I got on?
Yep.
Corn.
It's a corn shirt.
Here. William Ragsdale. That's who that is.
That's funny.
Oh, I thought that was somebody coming on. Okay.
Yeah, William Ragsdale. Let's see. Yeah, he was in Renfield.
Oh.
He was in a newer vampire movie. Okay, he looks like he's done some bit parts.
TV.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot of
You
TV.
got it right, Santi.
Yep.
Well, I'm already ahead of you. With the corn shirt.
Well, I got the perfect costume for Halloween. I'm gonna go knock on Nick's door.
And what's the costume?
Cockroach.
Robert, you're mute.
Yeah, you're on mute, Robert.
Yep, I know.
Okay.
So what if you're gonna knock on my door then, Joe? What's the costume gonna be though?
He's finding it.
Yeah. Oh, your Joe is a ghost for Halloween. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to go as. I've been invited. I've been invited to some Halloween parties. I don't know what to go as. I'm probably going to be. I'm probably going to be a character that I can't say his name because, you know, you got to say my name 3 times. I can't tell you what he is because otherwise, everybody's going to be calling me and whatnot.
I
was the girl. I was the girl version last year, so this year I'm doing something different.
Oh, were you? Nice.
Well, I already know what I'm going to be. I'm planning on being Svengoolie for the 45th anniversary.
Yes. And, it's funny you mentioned Svengoolie because, Peter Vincent, when you see, like, those TV segments of him in this movie,
right.
It's like he does have some Svengoolie vibe to him.
Yeah.
He does. He really does kind of have a Svengoolie look. And that was pretty much, and if you think about it, that was pretty much right around the same time when Son of Svengoolie began. Well, no, not when it began, but that was when Son of Svengoolie was on. I think that started in the early 80s.
Well, if you're Svengoolie, I'll be Elvira.
Oh, Elvira.
Sandra Peterson.
You know what? I was just listening. It's funny you mentioned that, Joe, because earlier, because I've been listening to my Halloween music list, and I got 2 songs from her. So I was just listening to her songs, "Haunted House" and "Monster Rap." And also, she's very briefly featured in "Feed My Frankenstein" with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
You'd make a good Elvira, I gotta admit.
Hey, Billy, I guarantee you, I'm not sure if Jill will go as Velma, but I guarantee you it would be a better Velma than one we got in that terrible HBO show.
God, don't even bring that
Didn't
up.
I dress up as Velma for our podcast a year or two ago?
Thomas says Don should be Donald Trump for an episode of Family Guy.
Yeah, I could be him. I could also, come across that Peter Griffin, his lovely family, but he won't. Peter Griffin's a good guy, but he doesn't have as much money as me, so that makes me better.
I still haven't seen that Family Guy episode, surprisingly.
Well, you should.
And look who looks like another little fuzzy guest that just decided to show up on camera. Got Slinky here.
Yeah. Well, you should see the episode. It's the best part of it is me being in it.
Oh man!
But yeah,
Joe's dead. Joe's the
Sith Warrior.
Undead.
Sith Warrior, nice.
But Jill, like I said, I think you'd make a good Elvira.
Totally.
Did you get my picture?
Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's look at that picture that you sent. Sorry, I was so stuck with these damn lights.
I was late because I was looking for that picture.
Here.
Okay, here we go. So, wait, I forgot to full screen it. Good thing I have the green screen off.
Yeah, really.
You guys can see that?
Oh, you can't see my shirt,
Not
but it
really.
says Fright Night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me try this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tone down the brightness on it, and
yeah, I was about to say you got a brightness like way up.
Yeah. Because I had to brighten it up a few days ago because I just couldn't see it. So give me 1 second here while I'm doing this whole fun thing. Unfortunately, my phone My phone also updated, so I have to. I'm trying to get used to. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to get used to the new features. All right, so let's try this again. All right, is it better now?
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
It's just with family, my cousin, my brother, my grandma visiting. But it looks like Christmas time, but I am all Halloweened out.
I could tell. That's awesome.
Nice. That's
I
awesome.
was like, okay, we're gonna wear red by the tree. I got my Halloween T-shirt.
Oh, here. Billy's asking, will we cover Scooby-Doo Witch's Ghost? Yeah, we will cover it soon. Yeah. I don't want to give away when, because I always want to keep everybody in suspense for what we're covering in the future, yeah?
And yes, Braxton, as you said, I just saw what you said. The cat in the background, though. Yeah, that's just my cat, Slinky. She comes up here a lot. She not only shows up on this show, she shows up on a lot of my shows. She likes to make special guest appearances and wants to talk sometimes about these movies too. She behaves right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so let's see what other. Oh yeah, we should talk about the finale. So yeah, like I just love how like they finally corner Dandrige like when the sun is right when the sun is coming up, and he just transforms into a bat. And like I like how after he got burned by the sunlight in his bat form, like he has burn scars when he's like reverted back to his like semi-human form, and while he's in his coffin. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. You have to have faith for that to work.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta have faith in order for the cross to work on a vampire. Apparently, in this movie, it's not just the cross, the sight of the cross that messes them up. It's you have to have faith. Well, believe me, this cross here, I never take it off, and I can assure you, I have total faith in God. So, any vampire that comes across me, nope.
Yeah, that better to clean up.
I like how he has that collection of clocks too. Once he
Oh,
realizes
yeah.
what time it is, yeah, like hundreds of like these old-fashioned grandfather antique clocks around. It's like, okay, do you really need that many clocks?
I know that guy. Well, he could have a hobby of collecting clocks. You know, people
have to go off at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, all of them programmed to go off at 6 o'clock. They ring, they play the cuckoo, they play. You know,
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like all these different
At
clocks.
sunrise, it's to let them know that it's sunrise or sunset or whatever.
He pretty much collects as many clocks as I do collect movies.
Must be a clock.
Maybe he's just like Doc Brown, just likes collecting them. Yeah.
That's right.
Could be.
Maybe.
Oh, I want to talk about Babyface. Yeah, Ginger Snaps is a good werewolf movie.
That's a good one. I like.
Yeah,
Ginger
for
Snaps.
those of you who haven't seen it, I think it's pretty clever how they use lycanthropy as a metaphor for puberty.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, I know it's spawned. I know it's a trilogy. I know it spawned 2 sequels because it had a lot of success. So far, I've only seen the first Ginger Snaps film. I haven't seen the other 2 yet.
Second one is not half bad.
Yeah, I heard the second one's not too bad, and then the third one it kind of just was just not
Yeah,
okay, but not that great.
Third one is just meh. Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like you kind of know what's going to happen.
And it's totally Canadian.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was made in Canada.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, there are lots of pretty good movies that were made in Canada. So yeah, lots.
Well, if you look at in this case, like, and I probably said this a while back, when you look at horror films, especially slasher movies from the 80s, a good majority of them were made up in Canada than the United States, because up in Canada, they were able to make them for a much cheaper and lower budget than in the United States. So that's why a lot of them were made in Canada. They were cheaper to make over there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Man. So let's see. And I just love the effects when Dandrige is finally killed by the sunlight. You know, like how it blasts like right into the wall, and then he's burning like that face like deteriorates, and then it goes into like the skeletal bat form.
Which you can tell is basically like an animatronic of some sort that they're using.
Oh yeah.
I'm melting.
Like, wrong movie, Robert.
I know.
That's true. That's true. Third one is a prequel. Oh yeah, Cursed. I remember that had Christina Ricci in it. Yes, I remember.
Yep. And Jesse Eisenberg.
Yep. Still consider that a better movie for him than than Batman versus Superman, because really having him as Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, really, come on.
No, didn't work.
I still remember Jesse Eisenberg. I like him better when he was in Zombieland. And
Yes.
and also Scott Pilgrim versus. No, wait, no, that wasn't.
That wasn't him.
That was Michael Cera.
Yeah, you're thinking of something else entirely. No,
Yeah,
like,
see, I sometimes get confused with Michael Cera and Jesse Eisenberg because they're kind of just so similar to each other.
yeah, I can kind of see that. But yeah, and I just like how the ending, like how Peter Vincent, like he just completely changed like his show from vampires to like just other monsters too, because like part of the story is that he was like his career was going on a decline as far as like him being a horror host. He was like fired from the network because they were up for low ratings, and he had an eviction notice in his apartment. So yeah, his life was pretty much going to hell. But he changed it for the better after defeating Dandrige with Charlie.
Well, it's funny. I remember in the sequel, Fright Night 2, that even though you have Charlie and Peter back in that movie, they just accept it's like, because it's been a few years since the events of the first movie, they eventually just decide to believe that Jerry was never a vampire to begin with. They just believe that he was just a serial killer. It's like, really?
Yeah,
he was a serial killer after everything you guys witnessed.
Yeah, really. I mean, I thought that was pretty stupid. When I looked up like the basics for Fright Night Part 2, I was just like, so you're trying to convince yourselves that
he was just a modern day serial killer.
Oh my god!
It's like, come on.
Since when does a serial killer dissolve in sunlight?
And also turn your girlfriend into a vampire.
Yeah, really. So
that's really too. Amy's not in the sequel either, because I think it's revealed that I guess in between movies, I guess they broke up. So
yeah,
that's why she wasn't back in that one.
Yeah, but so it showed him with another girlfriend.
Yep.
So Amy, wasn't she? She looked like the reincarnate from that painting.
Yes,
that's correct.
Yeah, they pretty much did the same thing for. They pretty much did the same thing for Dracula. You know, like when Dracula was going after Harker's wife, because she reminded Dracula of like his past lover. So it was pretty much the same concept.
It happens a lot. Again, that's another common feature in vampire movies. They find someone that they remember, in life that they believe is reincarnated, that kind of thing. Which a lot of times that usually ends in failure, but there have been some movies where sometimes it has ended with success.
Oh, yeah. Oh wait. Oh, Thomas, you're in Russia? I didn't know.
Wait, Thomas is in Russian?
Russia,
excuse me?
So I should not get enough credit when we work on the curtains.
Oh.
Never knew that.
Well, I didn't know that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think maybe you did bring it up before. My mistake.
I thought it was. I know we had somebody else from that country. I don't remember if it was him or not. So.
Oh yeah, here. This actually makes sense.
Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But here, what he was saying about the actress who played Amy, yeah, like that actually does make sense. Scheduling conflicts, they can do they can cause like serious issues when you want to bring people back. Like let's see, like Michael Keaton wouldn't reprise his role as Batman because he had scheduling conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
same with who am I thinking of? He wasn't involved in a TV show. It was
and most recently, Jenna Ortega wasn't reprising her role in the Scream movies because she's working on Wednesday.
Right. Well, and now here's what I was looking for. You look at also someone like Richard Dreyfuss too, who was supposed to reprise his role as a character he had in Jaws for Jaws 2, and he couldn't do that either because first off, Steven Spielberg was not going to be involved in the sequel, and secondly, even if he wanted to, he couldn't because again, scheduling conflicts as well because he was working on Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yep, and yeah, Steven Spielberg made the smart move to have nothing to do with the sequels because he knew he wasn't going to catch lightning in the bottle with the sequels like the first movie did. He just moved on to bigger and better things.
That's when he made, like I said, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I finally saw earlier this year. I know it seems kind of late for me to watch. Great.
That's what I say. You didn't see it yet?
Well, I saw one, and what better way to see it for the first time than see it at an AMC theater? So I saw it in the theater.
Ah, I see.
Great picture and sound quality.
Oh yeah, they always do. Yeah, and let's see. So I would like to know, like, if Evil Ed actually did come back in the end, because I remember the red eyes, the glowing red eyes that you see
Yep.
Mhm.
in the darkness, and then you hear
Mhm.
Evil Ed's voice, like, doing that line saying, "Oh, you're so cool, Brewster."
Yes, the cool Brewster.
Too bad they didn't bring him back in the sequel.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I guess he really was dead.
Maybe it was.
Okay, Ed is dead.
Ed is dead. Dead Ed.
Dead Ed. Dead Ed.
Dead Ed. Dead Ed. Dead Ed.
Oh man, but
Damn, what the hell happened here?
let's see. Now I lost my train of thought.
I was thinking,
see,
not unless there's other coffins in the house and they just never showed it.
Yeah, well, actually, there was one other coffin, but I believe it's implied that was being prepared for Amy. There was a scene that like during the last few scenes of the movie, just where it showed the basement scenes, like there was a smaller coffin that was being prepared. I mean, it's implied that it was meant for Amy.
you know, another thing I got to bring up too that you kind of wonder for a vicious vampire in this case, why in the hell is he not? Is he simply called Jerry instead of like some other intimidating name or something like that, like from long or like an old fashioned name from long ago? Like Jerry just seems like a rather unusual name for.
Well, if he went with something like that, like some ancient name, that would have been too obvious.
I know, but still, I actually did some funny moment with my documentary involved that because somebody talks about how is there a vicious vampire named Jerry? See, Jerry's a good comedian, but Jerry as a vampire, I'm not sure. What I actually did with the editing with that is when he said Jerry's a good comedian, I put a picture of Jerry Seinfeld in that, and then switched it right to Jerry the vampire.
Mm-hmm. Well, they might get caught if they with the pronunciation if they say Geraldo.
Yeah,
because Jerry and Geraldo, same sort of thing.
Here, I forgot to mention the scene where they were trying to humor, when they were trying to humor Trevor. Like this is before everyone believed that Dandrige was a vampire. Was when they where Amy and Ed were like bringing Charlie along to like and hire Peter Vincent to humor Charlie into believing that Jerry was that Dandrige was not a vampire. But then in the end, when like when Peter Vincent brought that prop of a folding mirror, like he just had that along with him, but then realized, oh wait, Charlie was right because Dandrige is not casting any reflection.
Babyface just said this real quick. Better than Jerry Seinfeld the Bee.
Oh yeah,
bees.
The Bee movie.
Not the bees. Oh man,
not the Minecraft bees. I always die in with Minecraft.
Yeah, I keep telling you, stop playing with bees. Stop playing with lava.
I'm not doing anything with those bees.
Stay away from the bees.
Right.
They're attacking me.
Because you attacked them first.
I'm trying to collect honey.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, you can't resist sweet honey.
Yeah.
I still know how you get the honey from those hives.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, that nightclub scene before reminded me of Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, and they did the exact same thing. Like have those bouncers trying to get Jerry out, and that had what was her name, Caroline Ray from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I was actually thinking more. Kind of remind me a little bit of that dance scene from the Terminator.
That nightclub. Yeah, nightclubs were like huge in the 80s.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, the way they were depicted in film, like they it's like in movies they make it seem as the best. It's like awesome thing, but then in when you look at movies like Terminator, it probably discourages people.
Well, that one that they actually filmed the dance scene in is a shoe store now, and this guy, the guy I was watching just before getting on here, they did the locations of the scenes, and he was actually allowed inside the shoe store to film, and they still have that double set of stairs going up with the railing still attached.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Oh here. I found Nick Savage. Hang on. Here he is in that scene. Found him.
Yep, that's him. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yep. So
I just got a message also on the FearFans chat. Irene just said she oh man, she said she's sorry, I have to scroll through. She's going to a doctor's appointment today. Yeah, got crappy lungs, so she has to. That's I already knew about that. So Irene, hopefully you get up. Yep, there's she's in the chat. Hope you get better soon, Irene. Oh, you sent her parts.
Irene, no more falling in the bathtub.
I know what she's going through. She's talked about it before, so I hope she gets better soon.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Yeah, I'm responding to something.
And also about one other thing while you're doing that as well, Don, of course, also send some prayers out for Japan as well, because unfortunately, it's not going to be that hugely effective, but there's a typhoon that's kind of getting close to Japan. Based on the track, it looks like it might be curving away, but they might still get the outer edges of it. I don't know what's going on. This hurricane typhoon season is just going out of control.
Yeah,
there's we just had Helene, and then there was John in Mexico, Hurricane John in Mexico. Then there was Hurricanes Joyce and Isaac, which fortunately those remained out at sea. Now we got Tropical Storm Kirk, and now there might be a new system developing in the Caribbean that might be taking an almost identical path that Helene had took. And then there might also be one other system that's forming right behind Kirk off the west coast of Africa. So, and then also there was also another Typhoon Kraven, that's affecting between the Philippines and Taiwan. So it's just going nuts. It's like we're at the true peak of hurricane typhoon season. It's crazy.
The cyclones aren't that bad down here when it comes to that season.
Like just when we think it's over, there's a new storm system. There was just another tropical depression that just formed off the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Mexico again. So it's just every time one hurricane and typhoon is gone, another one takes its place.
Yeah.
Braxton, Francine was earlier this year. I'm talking about the ones that are happening right now.
Right. Oh, here I wanted to ask Jill. Have you seen the Fright Night remake from 2011?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have? Oh, okay. Because some of us haven't, including me, and that changes this week. I'm gonna see it now that it's available on Peacock, because I want to do it because a lot of people say it's good, but also because it stars the late Anton Yelchin. Yeah, and he died young. He was gone way too soon. He was killed from a faulty brake on his car that slammed right into him, and he died from internal injuries.
What was he again?
Just terrible. Anton Yelchin. Let me double check. Let's see how old he was.
I think he was 22.
Yeah, he was in his 20s,
I think.
Yep, 1989 to 2016.
That's mid 20s then. Yeah.
Yep.
So that would make him.
That's no age for anybody to die.
No, definitely not.
Oh,
Green says we get 2 hurricanes twice a year in the spring and the fall, and earthquakes to go with it every. Yeah, know that all too well, Irene. I've been tracking the storms for her and Amanda as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Nick, and also Colin Farrell is playing Jerry Dandrige in the remake, and I'd like to see him playing a vampire in that, because he was also. Oh yeah, that's right. He played Kyle Reese in Anton Yelchin. He played Kyle Reese in Terminator Salvation. That's correct. Mm-hmm. And he was also in Burying the X with Alexandra Daddario, I believe, directed by Joe Dante. Yeah, but and what was I saying? Oh yeah, Colin Farrell. I would like to see him play a vampire, because he plays a pretty good penguin. So I've seen him as both. Yeah, I also remember him having a good performance in Phone Booth. Yeah, he's done a lot of great work. Yeah,
he's in a lot of good things.
Oh yeah, Phone Booth is one of the handful of Joel Schumacher movies that I actually do enjoy, unlike Batman and Robin.
He did the remake of Total Recall.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Braxton. Yep, starts in early June and ends in November. Hurricane season.
Yep. Oh man, but so as for Fright Nights, this movie brings back. Oh man, this movie really takes me back to my preteen years, watching, AMC Monster Fest, They like all these movie marathons that they had it during the Halloween season, and they loved showing Fright Night on AMC. And yeah, I even I remember when I was 10 to like VHS like I made it like a VHS like copy of it. Yeah, like recorded it from the TV. Yeah, that oh man, yeah, like, and not just when I think about it now, I just like it's like if I were to rewatch it again, I'm pretty sure it'll be a whole lot better because I'm pretty sure everybody remembers how terrible the sound quality was on VHS tapes. Yeah, and now we can just watch it on our phones. Yeah, with HBO Max.
That's the thing too, is that like, I mean, surprisingly, I mean, like the tapes I got, they still have good sound quality, but it's funny to think, how sound quality was on VHS tapes, and now it's just far more clearer, watching our phone. Of course, obviously, if you were around back in the 80s to have seen it in the theater, I'm sure it was probably just as good sound quality in the theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, we've come a long way when it comes to quality in movies. Yeah. Oh, wow. But I just wish I wish I can get my hands on this in Blu-ray Friday nights.
But drive-ins back in my time, they relied on AM radio, or you use the thing at the little box that you put on your window, and half the time those things like had shitty sound.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So your sound quality then would be based on how good your stereo could pick up the AM radio transmission, because it'd be on a AM radio frequency.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And let's see. Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, this particular DVD that I have was made. This was made in 1998. I could tell because I could see the year at the bottom corner of this here. But yeah, like this was like early years of DVD, and I want to be able to find a Blu-ray copy of this. Or
probably maybe I'll find one on Amazon.
Yeah. I was just looking Amazon, eBay. A couple of them have Blu-ray of Fright Night.
And VHS. Well, over time, the tape will deteriorate if it's not stored properly.
And demagnetized.
And then if your VHS your player eats the damn thing and you get it back, your sound quality at that part of the film is going to be shit.
Crinkled.
Because you're going to get all that crinkled tape from when it got eaten by the VCR.
Well, see, when I showed you guys those tapes that I got, I mean, like where I keep them obviously is a relatively safe place. And some of these tapes were made like 25, 30, 35 years ago now, and they're still in relatively good shape because I've kept them in the safe area. But yeah, I always, because I still have a VCR. So
but, see, that's just it. It's not every, you got to store them properly in order to make them last.
That's how I've been able to make them last for so long.
And you with CDs and DVDs, they get scratched and stuff like that. And the scratches can get removed real easily, and the quality never changes.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. That was the main problem with DVDs. Is that
take up less shelf space.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the main problems with DVDs. Is that even one little scratch is enough to screw it up. But now that we got Blu-rays and 4Ks, they're like 8 times more scratch resistant.
Yeah.
See, the good part is too, I mean, even with the tapes that I show, I mean, I know for a fact that some people have also uploaded some of these tapes, but until I figure out a way of how to digitize, I cannot talk today. Digitize. Yeah, digitize them. I have to kind of keep them as the way they are, because these are like rare tapes. They're hard.
You got to pick up a thing so that you can transfer them to DVD.
Yeah.
A lot of these I need to get one of those too, because there's no way some of these cult classics that I have are ever going to make it to DVD.
That's like what's with all these tapes I got. A lot of them never made it to DVD. And here's actually the funny thing. I mean, it's not necessarily that important, but because that's my weather collection of like different like documentaries on storms and weather, undoubtedly. And yes, I have this as a VHS copy. I even have a VHS copy of the movie Twister.
And an unopened VHS copy of Volcano, and that's got to be worth something.
Yeah, it's not open. Yeah, that's right. I have not opened it yet.
Yeah,
I've got all the Faces of Death on VHS, and only one of them is open. The rest of them are still shrink wrapped.
I see. Oh, here, I wanted to respond to Babyface's comment here. Have you ever seen Something Wicked This Way Comes?
Yes, I've seen that.
I'm trying to remember what that one was. It's been a while since I've heard of that one.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, if you haven't seen Fright Night, definitely see it. Especially if you're into vampires, because this one's a pretty good take on the vampire lore, and it has really good practical and pretty good practical and makeup effects for its time.
There's more than vampires.
Yes. There is one thing I just want to bring up real quick, just before we head out, before we end things tonight. We never talked once about the dance that Amy and Chris Sarandon's character made. What the hell? That's like one of the most infamous scenes in that movie. I just realized. I mean, we talked about
we brought up the dance club. I'm surprised that you didn't
brought up the dance club, but not the dance itself. What the hell?
Here, I'll give you this one, Nick.
The spicy scene.
Yeah.
No, not that.
Oh my god!
No, I said the dance scene, not spicy scene. Well, what were you thinking?
Go ahead.
That dance sequence, though. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's just like really. Thomas, Kate couldn't make it tonight. She has stuff going on with family, so she was not going to be around tonight. That dance, though, was just so well played out for some reason. I'm thinking to myself, geez, how frequently do they had to practice for that entire sequence?
Except the reflection that she cast wasn't doing the same thing that she was when she was with him on the dance floor. If you notice that.
Right. There's
like
she'll not in the reflection.
She'll be spinning, but then it'll cut back to her with him, and she's not spinning.
Right.
True.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The editing was a little iffy in some moments.
Yeah, but can't deal with that though.
Oh yeah. But we should also mention the song that they play in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There
was that. I still actually was able to get across the music video for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a music video for it, but funny enough, when you said music, I wasn't actually thinking that song. I was actually thinking of the theme song of Fright Night, which has that kind of creepy, seductive
that's exactly what I'm referring to.
That's what it. I thought you were talking about one of the background songs.
Yeah,
which I have. That's another song I got on my Halloween music list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a different song than Don. I was talking about the movie theme.
Yeah, like the ending.
That is the movie theme, Nick. What are you talking about?
No, like that instrumental theme song.
No.
That's what I thought you were referring to. I didn't realize you were referring to that song.
Yeah, the endings and the theme song they play in the end. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the music that plays throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just noticing they have a Fright Night 2 that I haven't seen, New Blood, but it's from 2013.
Yeah, that's the sequel to the that's the sequel to the one from the remake in 2011, and they completely changed the whole cast of it, and I heard it wasn't really worth seeing.
I was going to say, didn't they also make a sequel for the remake too? I thought there was. Yeah, I was right then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to after this. I'm gonna have to watch that remake now.
Yeah, I'm gonna see the remake because I watched the ending while we're talking for the original like 10 times because I just kept rewinding it to when he goes to the house to help Charlie defeat the vampire, and those are my favorite scenes throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, it's a classic story of like defeating the monster, saving the damsel in distress, and it's about as good of an 80s vampire flick as you can get. Definitely a better vampire story than Twilight.
I just also want to say too, it's funny how Chris Sarandon's character, because like obviously these were both directed by Tom Holland. He goes from this villainous vampire in Fright Night, and then just a few years later, he's this police detective. He plays the hero in that movie. It's just kind of a interesting transition between characters from the same director.
Oh yeah. Oh here, Babyface. Before you go, I wanted to announce that next time we're going to be covering
VHS.
Yes. There's some there was one story that has Halloween themes to it. So yeah, this is an anthology, found footage style. So I figured this would be a good one to cover because lots of people said we should cover some more found footage stuff, and so yeah, I feel like VHS would be a good step, especially with the new movie coming out, VHS Beyond.
There's a new one.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
is.
I didn't know there was another one that was made.
Coming out.
Or yeah, coming out. Excuse me.
What year is that movie, Dom?
2012.
I was gonna say, wasn't that 2012?
Yep. I just confirmed it. Yep.
But it has because obviously it has that nostalgic feel to it. It almost looks more like Understandably. It looks like it was made back in the 90s.
Oh yeah, it's got that kind of like a vibe to it. Like, though I do question as to how someone would be able to get footage from video sunglasses onto a VHS tape. I mean, that's really anybody's guess.
Yeah, and that's something, as far as I know, you can't add to a tape.
Yeah, I know I know. I
find that just seemed out a little out of I'm just gonna say that just seemed a little out of context.
Yeah, that seemed kind of unlikely.
Yeah,
because
as far as I know, they didn't have those They didn't have that kind of stuff back in the 90s.
I found it
actually. It was supposed to be. It all takes place in 2012.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying if it was trying to give that 90s vibe, I'm just saying I'm pretty clear.
I'll be able to watch that
have those
for
back
free.
Then. What?
I said I found it on Peacock, so I'm going to be able to watch it.
Oh, there you go.
It's free.
It is, especially the first story when the criminals in the main story when they watch a VHS tape. The story that takes place is the first one's really creepy.
Oh yeah.
You just wait. All right, so that's going to be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. Fright Nights. Love this movie as a kid, still love it as an adult. So be sure to check it out. It's available now on HBO Max, and the remake is on Peacock. And I'm just about to sign into Peacock to watch it right as soon as we get off.
You're not working tomorrow?
Oh, I am. I still got some time.
Yeah, because usually you go to sleep right afterwards.
I'll fall asleep watching.
Just fall asleep. Fall asleep to it, Nick.
Yeah, I'll just go over in my actually, you know what? I'll airdrop this onto my TV over there and just fall asleep watching it on my lazy boy chair.
That's like your new it's almost like you're using it as like a white noise or green noise machine.
I could. Yeah. I do that.
That's quite an thing. That's quite an interesting that's some thinking. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that with Dragon Ball Z. Just pop in whichever disc, because I've seen the whole series. I'll just pop in whatever disc and just have that playing on marathon mode. So that way
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you.
I do that. Find something I've watched 1,000 times, and
to be fair to Don, I guess I'll be honest with you, Don. I do the same thing too, but it's with scary stories I listen to. That's not surprising with me, though.
It's pretty much bedtime stories.
Yeah. You know what? If you remember when I played those clips last week of Chilling Tales for Dark Nights from that Why I Didn't Shower for 21 Years story?
Right.
The tagline for that website, Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, is "Who needs sleep anyway?"
Nice. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the FearFans podcast. Happy October, everybody! Halloween season. Cannot wait to get to work on this podcast with all kinds of horror favorites, as well as some video game live streams. I can't wait until Silent Hill 2 remake comes out. I'll be sure to cover that this month as well. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a scary night.